The world of test building can be anything from a single test to a multitude of tests. It can be static forms, it can be item bank, it can be computer adaptive testing. One of the real benefits of using the tool is also you can create item libraries. So imagine a single item that's used across multiple tests, or a series of items that are used across multiple tests, or sections of tests based on certain tags or attributes within those items that you want to pull into a test. That can all be done through the item library. So most of what you see or most of what you work with is through the tab here called Assessments and Surveys. You go in, you build an individual test, you publish that test, you use it. The item library is a component of those tests. So I can build an individual item that can be shared across multiple tests. It can have the same item name, it can have the same item statistics, it can have the same item scoring, but I only have to create it once. You do that within the item library. So I have a library built here called the technical library. You can add items to that. You can create items from the standard assessment engine and move them up to the library, and you can use these in standard tests. So I have an item library already created. I could add another item to that. Let's add a radio button, and let's say what is a select statement in SQL. And we could give some options here. That's like select from where. We could say in, not in outer. So we could say that there are really two options there. I'm going to delete these other two options, and I can say this is the correct answer. I can add some tags and attributes to that I can pull from when building other tests. So let's say it's something to do with database. I can add a database item here. Let's say it has to do with coding. I can add a coding tag here, and I can hit save on that item. That item is available in my library, but not available in other tests until I publish it. And by publishing it, I'm just saying I want this available for production use. So just remember, this is in our technical library, but it is in a library. So as we go and build assessments, I could be building an assessment, let's call it ABCs of testing, and I say, oh, I wonder what items I have that have to do with coding or database. I can pull items into my test by hitting From Library. I could search for example for coding and hit search. And I see a couple of those items. This has already been added to the test, and I have this radio button. I'm like, what the heck is that? I can click on the view, and it'll tell me what is in select from where. So you could enter competencies in this search box and actually find certain items. So let's say I want to add this to my library. So I need to remove the one that's already been added. So let's uncheck that. Say, radio button 4 already exists within the test, so I'll have to rename this within my item library, which is fine. So somewhere in here I have something called radio button 4, so we can go find that and remove it. So adding to the library is as simple as adding to the library and then selecting from the test itself that you want to add it to. So I just need to find radio button 4, and of course it's going to be there it is. We'll rename this in here, call it radio option 22, hit finish, and then our item library exercise should work for us. So we'll hit coding, we'll hit search, we'll go grab that radio item, and we'll add that to the test. Now what that's done that's a little different from a lot of tests that you're used to seeing is it now tells you here it's in the library, technical library, and it's called radio option 4. We can't edit this test or this item because it's in the technical library, it's in the item library, but we can see information about it. So it's a read-only exercise. And really that's how you add items from a library. It's always within the tab structure on the item or the test listing page. So the item library is present here, and you can use that to add to existing tests.